Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Olayinkon. I make videos about marketing, SEO, products, and so on. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to encourage me to do more of this. Yes. So welcome once again. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you for being a part of this journey. So in one of my last video, I made a video on how to create two buttons side by side using Elementor, and someone dropped a comment on the video that it doesn't work for all versions of Elementor. And yes, it doesn't work in all Elementor versions, which I totally agree. That's because of an update that Elementor has implemented. So in this video, I want to show you how the differences between the old Elementor version and the new Elementor version, how to identify them, and how to implement this same feature, which is two buttons side by side, even in this new Elementor version. See you in the video. All right, so first off, this is I'm already logged into my WordPress, and I'm viewing this page using Elementor Builder. Now, if you have the initial initial Elementor version, Elementor-Pro installed, if you look to your left hand panel, the Elementor panel, you will see that from the top you see basic, there's Pro, Element, there's General, and so on, right? Yeah, and so on. And now, so there is now a new version which I'm also going to show you that I have installed on one of my new website. Right, as you can see here, this is one of my new websites. It's for delivery service, local delivery services. Yes, so yeah. So if you check through the left panel, you see that the first thing that you see at the top is layout, then basic, pro, and every other things. Now, so this is like the major difference between the old. So if you are installing if you have a new WordPress website and you're installing Elementor, this is what you're going to have. You would have this version. Now, the feature of side-by-side button, the way it is implemented on that old version is different from the way it's implemented on here, right? Because with this new version, you deal more with containers. Where in the old version, you deal more with, it's not container per se, it's not container per se, it's just, you just select structures. It's about structures, right? It's about structure. You see, everything is about structure. You select the structure that you want, but in the new version, you deal more with containers. So this is a container, and the container will show you how you want it's a mixture of container and structure. Yes, just to better explain it, it's a mixture of container with structure, right? If you have this structure, that means you want two side by side boxes, or yeah. So now, and in a structure, you can easily just drag your buttons and style it. In your structure, you can easily drag your button and style it the way you want, and it will do what you want it to do. So for instance, let me show you again. This is a button, I put a button here, and then I duplicated the button, and I want to make it side by side. I'll simply come here, inline, and then I do the same for the second button, and voila, they're side by side. And then I can continue to do all the stylings that I want, right? This is for structures, right? Now you see how it works on the new layout. So this new layout is more of containers. So here now, this is a container. You see at the top, this is a container, and I have a button here. Now if I duplicate this, my button, just the way we did in the initial one, and I'm on the first button, and then I come to advanced, I click on auto, it doesn't happen. The same fit doesn't happen, right? And then I do the same for this one. It doesn't align side by side, right? And the reason is because what happens with the element inside is totally dependent on the container. Now if you check my container, the way the direction of the item should be aligned is downwards, vertical, and that is what is responsible for these buttons. So if I want to have this button appear side by side, then I need to put another container inside this container, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So I've picked a container, and then I've put it inside my container, and then I'm dragging my buttons. I've dragged in the first button, and then I've dragged in the second button. They are both now in the container. So what I need to do now, I've done the alignment, I've done the settings of the width to inline. The both buttons, their width are now inline. So what I now need to do is to click on the direction. You see, it immediately stays side by side. So once again, if you're using the new Elementor that is like this, that has layout as its first element, category, and inside that contains it has containers. How you create side by side button is, first off, you drag your container. Once you drag your container inside the container, what should be inside the container alone, the only thing that should be in your container should be just your buttons. Like I repeat, drag the container and make sure that the only elements inside your container are just the two buttons that you want to put side by side, right? So now I'm going to come back here and look for button, and then I drag it directly inside the container. I have the first button, so instead of coming up here to drag another button, I can just simply duplicate this by right clicking on this edit button icon, and then I duplicate the button, so they are on top of each other, right? Now what I need to do now is come to this edit button, click on that, and then go to my advanced option of that button element, and then I change the width to inline. Then I do the same for the second button. Now if you notice, with all of these things that we're doing, no changes has happened. Don't worry, click on the second one and go to the advanced settings, then the width change to inline as well. Once you've done that for both of them, now you then need to come back to your container, click on this edit container. Once you do that, then go to the item, under item in your left panel, change the direction to row. and your button will be aligned side by side. Now, also note that for every design you do, you should make sure that it's for all the screens. Now, what we've done right here is just for the desktop. We need to make sure that it works like that too on tablet and on mobile. Right? Remember, you still have to style your button to make sure it looks the way you want it to look. I believe you know how to style your video buttons. If you do not, I will put a link into my previous video so you can learn a bit of how to style in terms of fonts and all of that. So if you like this if this video is helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button, like it for YouTube algorithm, and then please share with people that you feel it might be helpful to. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.